I formally apologize for all the physical pain I will cause you real watercolor artists out there. Hello and welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. I am experimenting today again. So, watercolor. I have drawn by now a little bit with watercolor. Here and there, but this time it will be a full watercolor picture. And yeah, let's see how it turns out. Let's draw Spider-Man in watercolor. By the way, if you're wondering why my hands are smaller than usual, that is because this is a 3 and not a 4 as usually. So if you are thinking in other formats, it's just the bigger one than the usual I am doing. So we are drawing this on a big one, and you can see me right now tracing, measuring all of that up. It's a little bit more different in that size and for myself because we're talking anatomy, not just face. So it is a bit more difficult for me to draw a complete body. I've done by now a little bit, for example, with The Witcher, the upper part of the body. I have drawn from Aquaman the upper part of the body. So it's a little bit of body I have drawn, but not as much as with the Spider-Man. So it was a bit new for me. But then again, with this one, a lot was actually pretty new for me. So you see me here starting with the watercolors, and I am using unmixed colors for the most part. So for the red, for example, this is the red that comes out of the box because of my color issues. I am 100,000% sure that I will never be able to recreate a color once I have used it all up, and I have to remix it because I had not enough in the beginning or whatever. I'm 100,000% sure I cannot do that reliably, and I wouldn't even notice because of my color issues with seeing reds and greens mostly. So yeah, everything you see here are the colors out of the box mixed with black. So the only mixing I'm doing is the pure color with black and obviously with water. So, but not as much water perhaps as I should. So that is actually what I was referring to in the very beginning when we were talking about physical pain for all of you real watercolor artists out there. I am using this color almost as if it's oil paint or acrylic or whatever. It's really painful to watch, I imagine. So it will start to even shine quite a lot. That is not wet, at least after a couple of seconds. This is time lapse, so not minutes but seconds. It's not water anymore. It is actually the color itself, because I used so much that it started to be shiny again. That's not how you are supposed to use watercolors, I assume. I'm not an expert, but I don't think this is the correct way to do it. But honestly, for me, for myself, it worked here. And we will see. I will have to train to do it differently. But this is the what you're seeing right now. This gray is the most muted thing you will see from me in this picture. And well, I think the end result, apart from being shiny and not how you're supposed to use the colors, it is pretty cool. So stay with me and bear the pain. And we will see how it turns out. It is not my first Spider-Man that I'm drawing. Well, at least not Peter Parker. I have drawn Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but yes, as a portrait in lead. So that means it is pretty not very Spider-Man-y, I would say. You do not see anything really of his uniform. So you could argue that this is actually my first Spider-Man that I'm drawing, or painting in this case. So yeah, I did not put a Spider-Man 2 in the intro. Partly because of that, partly because it just doesn't look right. I'm also full aware that probably the red that I'm using here is not the perfect red that I could be using, but as I said, I was using purely the boxed colors from the box itself. So this is the red I'm always using. I should probably buy more different reds to really select a better one. But to be honest, as long as they are not really different, they look the same to me anyway. So, well, I have to find a way to deal with this better, I think. But here you see the first shading that I'm doing, and I actually am liking it to a certain degree. It is really fun to work with these colors and do this shading. I should have made it more muted. Yes, I've said that enough for now. I will try to not repeat that anymore. But you see here, that is all red with the black mixed and painted on top of it, and I really like how you can vitalize the color by just using water and start to blend more. If the line was too harsh, just put a little bit of color on it and redraw it more or less. It was too dark, put water on it, mix it a little bit, and then start taking away the color with your brush. Not 100% sure if that is the right way to do it. That's how I did it and how I got to the result that I did here, which I'm not mad at. I should have started drawing directly all of the red and not just concentrating on this here. It would have been easier. I could have been mixing more reddish black colors. It would have been easier to have a more congruent colored look. But well, it was more or less still a little bit of a proof of concept for myself, actually. Drawing like this, the torso, I've never done it. I had no idea if the way I wanted to shade it would work. So yeah, that's why I concentrated first on this, and I think it worked. So I continued. Those black lines you see right now, actually when I drew the first one, I was a bit sad because I thought, well, now you've ruined it. When I continued, I actually started to like them. I do not draw them everywhere because you cannot really see them because of the light reflection in the original picture. So I stopped drawing them to a certain degree in the light areas. And it turned out pretty nicely. Here I've changed the perspective. I've tried to the camera perspective. I tried to make it a little bit more visible for you because of the reflection of the color. Because what you see now on that torso, that is not wet paint. That is actually a much too heavy amount of color that makes it look glossy. I have no idea. Is there any way to stop this from being glossy? Is this something that happens to you if you are a watercolor artist? Is there something you can do to prevent that and still get this dark results? Can I put baby powder on it to get rid of that gloss? I have no idea. If you have any idea, let me know down in the comments or visit me in the live. That's even better. Visit me in the live. I'm not sure when I will do the first watercolor live though, but you are always welcome in the lives. So yeah, visit me there and tell me what I did wrong or what I could do better. So I always appreciate backseat drawing because I want to learn. I'm not doing this because I'm perfect. I am doing this because I am on my journey to develop my knowledge and my skills in different forms of art and crafting, if I get ever back to doing something like crafting. But yeah, if you have anything you can help me with, I am definitely open for it. I haven't even spoken about Spider-Man himself. Normally I am doing that, but there's so much to say about my one of my first attempts of watercolors. So I hope you're okay with that. And I think Spider-Man anyway is one of those characters that most people really know anyway. This picture is from his very first appearance in the MCU. He is stealing Captain America's shield because they are fighting actually. It's the Civil War storyline in the movie. And I really like the picture. I like how he appeared in the movie, so this was a good choice, I think. Also, all elements are about the same color. Red, blue, and yeah, silvery white. So I think not too difficult for a first timer. Yeah, but I was really giddy when I decided to draw this, so I couldn't wait to start. I like how it turned out. It's definitely not perfect. It shows me where I have to improve. But well, yeah, this is it. This is my Spider-Man in watercolor. I actually tried to find a perspective with the camera and everything so you have less glare on it, but that is definitely an issue of how I'm using the watercolors. So I will just move it for you so you can see it without reflection and in a little bit more detail. And yeah, as I said, I am pretty happy with it. So this is not a bad third attempt or something. So yeah, I like how it turned out. It's not how you are supposed to use watercolors. But I probably really have to force me to draw something, to paint something in watercolor next that is just lighter, just easier to do without those dark shadows, because I just love the light and dark contrast, and I could not stop myself from implementing it also here with the watercolor. So that's my Spider-Man with the Captain America shield. I like it. I am happy with it. It is a good next step on my journey towards getting a little bit more proficient in something else than just pencil portraits. So thank you very much for joining me on this part of my journey. I hope you will be back for the next part, whatever that will be. So click that thumbs up, give me that subscription, ring that bell, and I hope I'll see you back soon. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
It's time to move on to keep me strong.